Bitcoin is a new environment. It surrounds us. It's like the water that the fish is in. And what we don't know, what's not well understood, is how is it affecting all of us? I think the best way of understanding it is that it's hallucinogenic. And what I mean by that is we all see what we want to see, and no two of us see it exactly alike. In other words, we have to fill in the blanks. You can't get a straight answer. Well, what is Bitcoin? Well, people can give you a technical explanation, but we actually don't understand it because we never understand new technologies.
There's pretty good evidence that there's a lot of fraud going on. Look, every market in the world, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, LIBOR, exchange, every market, you name it, they've all been subject to manipulation. That's why we have all these regulators. That's why we have the SEC, and that's why the stock exchange are regulated, et cetera. Are we supposed to believe that Bitcoin is the only market in history that's not manipulated? That's nonsense.
Jim, my opening question to you is one that I also had for Max Kaiser. Why is this conversation of Bitcoin and gold so polarizing?
Well, gold is, we have a pretty good handle on. It's been around a long time, and people know what gold is and how it behaves. And we have time series of prices and comparisons and, cost structures. There's just a lot of information about gold. Bitcoin is a new technology. And just to sort of put that in context, there's an old saying, we don't know who discovered water, but we're pretty sure it was not the fish, meaning the fish doesn't know about water. The fish is in the water and surrounded by water, but doesn't know the water exists until you take it out of the water. And Bitcoin is a new technology. Most people are looking in the wrong direction when it comes to Bitcoin. They're looking at the price and the use case, and I don't think there is much of a use case, and blockchain and the tech, various aspects of it. But that's what I call content. And until something else comes along, and then we look back, we look in the rearview mirror and go, oh, look at that, look what that did. We actually don't know what Bitcoin is doing to us right now. I have some ideas, but I'll leave it to Michael to state his case. But just as an aside, Daniel, I want to congratulate you and your team for putting this together. I mean, you got two multi-billionaires. You've got one of them is one of the just absolute leading financiers of mining in general and gold in particular is Frank Justra. And Michael is a technologist and one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. He's CEO of MicroStrategy's. His firm, directly or indirectly, they have $5.5 billion in Bitcoin. And he didn't pay that much. He didn't buy it yesterday. They paid, according to the best estimates, they paid around 1.5, 1.7 billion to buy the Bitcoin at an average price of about $23,000, but at $60, it's worth 5.5 billion. So he pulled, $3.5 billion out of thin air. Good for him, but few people know more about it. Bitcoin is a new environment. It surrounds us. It's like the water that the fish is in. And what we don't know, what's not well understood, is how is it affecting all of us? I think the best way of understanding it is that it's hallucinogenic. And what I mean by that is we all see what we want to see, and no two of us see it exactly alike. In other words, we have to fill in the blanks. You can't get a straight answer. Well, what is Bitcoin? Well, people can give you a technical explanation, but we actually don't understand it because we never understand new technologies.
Personally, I'm very skeptical of Bitcoin. I know what the price action is. It's going up by 10% a day at this point. Look, Bitcoin could go to 20,000. It could go to 30,000. It's on its way to zero, somewhere between 0 and 200. It's a utility token for criminals, terrorists, money launderers, tax evaders. They'll always find some use for it, so it may not go all the way to zero. It's clearly a bubble. It looks like the second biggest bubble in history after Tulip Mania, although at the rate it's going, it'll pass Tulip Mania, in a matter of days. Bigger than the South Sea bubble, bigger than the Mississippi bubble, New York, the Dow Jones in 1929, Nikkei in 1989. Name your bubble, it's bigger than all of them. So I don't own any. I don't recommend it to clients. But I'm a free market guy. If people want to buy it, knock yourself out.
Well, I think, and again, going back to your earlier point, Danielle, I'm a gold analyst. I've written a book on gold. I invest in gold. I recommend it, etc. So I guess kind of I'm on that side, but I don't diminish the importance of Bitcoin. I don't think of it as an investment. I think of it as an environment and a technology. So I think both sides have some openings, but I think both sides have some vulnerabilities. I think on Frank's side, his often your greatest strength is also your weakness. So on Frank's side, you can just say declaratively and correctly, gold has been a reliable store of value and a widely accepted form of money for 3,000 years.
There's pretty good evidence that there's a lot of fraud going on. Look, every market in the world, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, LIBOR, exchange, every market, you name it, they've all been subject to manipulation. That's why we have all these regulators. That's why we have the SEC, and that's why the stock exchange are regulated, et cetera. Are we supposed to believe that Bitcoin is the only market in history that's not manipulated? That's nonsense. Of course it is. In fact, the fact that it's unregulated is a magnet for all the manipulators who probably were, the Wolf of Wall Street, 20 years ago. So the point is, imagine the following: you and I are Bitcoin miners, right? So I sell to you at 10,000, you sell back to me at 10,100, I sell back to you at 10,200. We just traded back and forth all day. There's no P&L. We're trading the same Bitcoin back and forth, but it's called painting the tape. These exchanges get reported on the Bitcoin exchanges, so an outsider who's completely naive about this is, oh, look, the price is going up. It's just you and me painting the tape.
But the problem for Michael, there are a couple other questions. Number one, is there a use case? I don't think there is. And I think Michael has a tendency just to bang the drum, Bitcoin. Well, okay, got it. It's going up. You made money. Nice job. But I haven't heard anyone articulate a use case other than the price goes up. Well, that sounds bubblicious. It sounds like every bubble in the history of the world. You have to do a little bit better than that. Two, I think Michael has got to answer some serious questions about price manipulation. If I sell some Bitcoin to you for $60,000 and you sell it back to me for 65, and I sell it back to you for 70, we can just sell the same Bitcoin back and forth, as many times as we want, raise the price, do it on an exchange so people can see. It's called painting the tape. It's the oldest trick on Wall Street. How do we know it's illegal, by the way, if you're doing stocks? But Bitcoin is unregulated. Not aware of any illegality if we're painting the tape in Bitcoin. But over to Michael's side, there's not a lot to say for Bitcoin except it goes up. Also, okay, you bought it at 20,000, it went to 40, then it went to 50, then it went to 60. And I get emails from, I have correspondents all over the world, and people go, Jim, I've been doing this, doing that, but I bought some Bitcoin, man, I just made $50,000. And that's not a stretch. I mean, I know people have made tens of millions in Bitcoin, and Michael has made billions. So it does go up, no doubt about it, and it could go up higher. I'm not going to say. I think it could go to, I think it could go down 90% in a matter of weeks, but I also think it could double in a matter of weeks. I'm not going to say which way it could go. It could go either way. Bitcoin is a new technology. Most people are looking in the wrong direction when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new environment. It surrounds us. It's like the water that the fish is in. And what we don't know, what's not well understood, is how is it affecting all of this? Gold has been a reliable store of value and a widely accepted form of money for 3,000 years. There's not a lot to say for Bitcoin except it goes up.